Welcome. So, today we're going over the market and we're going to take our time here as we get started. The market's been tight. There hasn't been a lot for sale. Everything's pretty slow. We'll see what happens. But just like in every other video, I invite all of you to put comments down below, bring your questions. This is the really good opportunity to kind of go over the market and just see what's going on and maybe ask specific questions about your plans. We do this every single Sunday at 6 o'clock, and this is going to be the place where you can bring all of your real estate questions, learn about the market, all that kind of fun stuff. And for those who are new, we do a new subject every single month. Last month, we kind of missed a couple of videos between the tropical storm and some other issues we had going on. But last month, we did everything about bank owned properties, basically, and foreclosure. This month, we're doing everything about buyers. So we're covering all kinds of buyer tips, buyer tricks, buyer tools, everything you need to know for general buyers. And if you're looking at something more specific, like if you are a veteran or a senior first time buyer, we're going to have specific courses on those. So this is going to be just generally for buyers. Now, the first week of every month, which is this week, we're going to be going over the market and how it's going and everything about it. Without further ado, let's just jump in. Oh, and last thing for folks, we typically start at 6:05 just to give people a couple minutes to show up because some people don't show up too quick. Let's just dig right in. So the first thing we're going to look at, if we can share our screen, let's just share the whole window. Share. Did that break it? A little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're looking at is rates. So right now the 30-year fixed is right around 7%. It's high, right? It's higher than it's been. And of course, interest rates are going to play a huge role in everything else because roughly every 1% increase in rates is about a 10% increase in monthly payment. So we went from about 3 to, about 7. So that's basically a 40% increase in the monthly payment. The next easy thing to look at is going to be Airbnbs. Now, Airbnbs ask me later. We're typically going to look at Thousand Oaks because Thousand Oaks is the best metric for Airbnbs because there's not any super crazy rules and regs. If we look at, where did we go? Market comparison, was that the tab? No. Overview. Okay. So overall, we're seeing the market tick up on Airbnbs, both for revenues kind of at an all-time high right now, which is normal for the summer. Occupancy, all this kind of stuff's all looking pretty normal. We're not seeing anything too out of the norm. We are seeing more rentals constantly going up. We're all the way up to 89 right now, just in the city of Thousand Oaks, which is a lot more than there used to be. When we were at the low point after the pandemic, we think we were at around 40 and then around 42, 43. What was that? Let's see. 45 is where we were at. So, we've just about doubled the number of Airbnbs after COVID. And it seems to keep going up because people are trying to rent out their homes because they want to have rentals. And everyone thinks Airbnbs are the right thing to do, right? And again, as we keep a look at the Airbnbs, let's see, we're just in the wrong tabs. Yeah, vast majority of the new rentals, or the rentals in general, are going to be just rooms or one bedrooms or studios. There are some houses, 3 and 4 bedrooms are very popular, but let's be real, the one rooms or the studios are going to make up the majority of what's going on. The average is 2.2 bedrooms and 5.2 guests. And vast majority of people list on Airbnb, not VRBO. So when we're talking about the market, those are the big things we have to keep in mind, okay? Because we have, in just the city of Thousand Oaks, which is relatively small, we have 90 Airbnbs now. That's 90 homes that didn't go on the market that are up as short-term rentals. That's a lot for our city. We only have 15,000 houses total. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of homes that aren't going up for sale, right? So the total number of listings countywide, active listings is 995. That's up from the 972 we had this time last month. But how's that doing compared to last year? Let's see, number of active listings. It's going to be all the way down here. So if we compare year to year, yeah, we have only 995 compared to 1586 this time last year. So we have about, a third of our current listings missing. Also, when we're talking about our sold listings did tick up slightly from 466 to 539. So, we did sell more, but when you look at again the number of sold listings here, 539 is still quite a bit less than the 673 we usually sell this time of year. We're down 20%. So people just don't want to move. Buyers don't want to pay the interest rates. Sellers don't want to have to get a new place for the interest rates. So stuff is just slowing down, right? When we look at listing prices, it's always very fun for me to look at listing prices because the active median list price? Oh, it's actually hanging steady. What went up? Sold average sales price. So that's kind of the thing with average is it tends to jump around a lot. So we don't really want to look at average. We want to look at the median sales price. So median sales price did tick up slightly from 838 last month to 850 this month. And don't sweat that too much because while it is an uptick, it is very easy as you kind of see the prices get kind of zigzaggy here for stuff to be volatile, for there to be a big house or two for sale, right? That really changes the number, or a cheap house or two for sale. So, when we're looking at the year over year median sales value, it's big, right? The median sales price this right now is $850,000. This time last year, it was only $800,000. That's a 6.25% increase, right? So, a lot of people try to time the market. You can't. But, if you were waiting in August of 22 and you waited until today, well, you just spent an extra $50,000. So for a lot of people, the vast majority of people, if you can afford, you want to buy. You don't want to wait because you never know when this is going to happen. And now you're out $50,000 more than you expected. Will prices go down next month? Maybe. You don't know that, but we do know that prices generally tend to go up, right? So right now the listing prices took a nice little bump, jumped from 838 to 850. Our absorption rate is climbing up. That is good news for buyers, bad news for sellers, but still not that bad of news for sellers, unfortunately. So right now, what the absorption rate means is that if we were to stop listing homes today, okay, stop listing today, if we only had the current existing inventory, how long would it take to sell out of all the homes? Right now, it would take us 2 months. In a healthy market, depends on who you talk to. We typically want to see it between 4 and 6 months. So, as much as this is better than it was, right? It's still well below a even market. And if we're over six, it'd be a buyer's market, right? So it's still a very, very, very strong seller's market, just not as strong as it was, in April, February. But it is still a very strong seller's market. Slightly more favorable towards buyers, but still very strong seller's market, right? Sold to list ratio, we're starting to see that go down slightly. It's pretty normal in the summertime for us to start seeing stuff kind of regulate once the kids are back in school. So this isn't super, super surprising. And we are still seeing, while not seeing over 100% of list price, we are seeing 99.6% of list price. So, basically list price is what homes are selling for on average. So if you're showing up and you're hoping to completely lowball an offer, just understand that that's not happening often, right? As a seller, the days on market are very important. The average, I like CDIM. CDIM is the cumulative days on market. That means if the house falls out of escrow and falls back into escrow, what the median is, which is currently 37. If you don't have any drama, then the median is 33, which is still quite good because, again, typically, historically speaking, we used to be between 2 and 3 months to sell. So you're looking about 33 days to get your home under contract and get it sold. Not as good as it was, 2 years ago, but still a very healthy market. Our overall price volume, which is the just total amount of stuff on the market, is holding pretty steady at right around 1.8 million. So, the big things that we're looking at here is our change. Our absorption rate is down, so it is slightly more aggressive for everyone. Stronger sellers market than it was this time last year. Average list price is way up at 1.8 million, but again, I think the average is too volatile to really use out here. The median is what I really like. The median list price, of course, is people dreaming. I always love that. The median list price is 982, but the median sales price is 850. So we have a lot of listings that are dreaming out there, right? The average sale price, again, average, but the median sales price is up year over year by about 6.5%. So if you bought this time last year and you bought a median house at $800,000, you've made about 50 grand in the last year just on your equity. The median days on market are currently 18 compared to 24 this time last year. So still a very hot market. Let's see. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Where's my chat? There's my chat. No question, comments, concerns yet. So when we dig into the number of so we look at individual cities. When we look at Ventura, for example, Ventura has been a very rough city. They've been having some pretty volatile numbers showing up. When we look at their median sales price year over year, it's changed by about 10%. Their median days on markets, 30. So, as we're looking at it, are we seeing anything too crazy? I guess the big thing to look at would be the median sales price, which is 850, which has gone down slightly. So they had this big jump here month before last, which really kind of was unique. And we were kind of keeping an eye on it, seeing if it was going to fall back down, but staying quite strong in Ventura for right now, even with that big jump. I expected it to kind of fall back, but it didn't. Their month supply is pretty normal at 2.16. Their days on market is just right around 30. So they're selling their homes pretty darn quick. Price volume is looking healthy. So Ventura's market's pretty strong. If we take a look at Oxnard, number of listings is steady. They've been keeping real steady basically for the whole year since January. They haven't moved much. But their listing prices, I love that. The average sales price, super high and skyrocketing, right? But the median sales price is down to $720,000. So if you want a median home in Oxnard, it's going to cost you about $720,000. They did have a pretty big uptick last month. It just happens with the summer. Sometimes you get odd months, but they are hanging right around, 720, 740 in that range for their median sales price. Absorption rate is 2.2, so they're taking they have a little bit more favorable of a buyer's market than the average. The sold to list ratio is at 109%, so their prices are increasing on average. Their days on market are really high. Their CDIM is 50 and their days on market is 35. So why is that? We have a lot more first-time buyers. They're more affordable, right? So you're going to have a lot more people getting cold feet and backing out of escrow. You're going to have a lot more just general time trying to find buyers with the confidence to pay these new prices because it's first-time buyer land. And you got to realize that, first-time buyer buying a $720,000 house at 7% interest, that's quite the payment. So it does take quite a bit of effort to get those first-time buyers to chill out their cold feet and get them, all the way to the finish line. Overall, nothing too crazy going on in Oxnard. Typically, it's just about what we'd expect, Camarillo is a little bit more upscale, but we do see, sold listings of 58, so that they don't have much on the market. Their listing prices, 776 is going to be your median for Camarillo. For average sales price, we're at 874. Again, I like the median because the big ones and the little ones mess it up. The absorption rate is quite low at 1.3. So the Camarillo market is much more aggressive than Oxnard or the average. The sold to list ratio is the prices are falling down a little bit, just slightly, right? When we look at the days on the MLS, they're at around 26. Looks like their deals aren't falling through very often considering of CDIM of 26. They're both 26.8 and 0.7. So we're not really seeing deals fall out of escrow in Camarillo too often. And the price volume is kind of volatile. Usually we see it kind of max out right now. Active list volume, it's on the upward end here. It usually levels out once we get past September because all the listings start expiring. People don't want to sell after the kids are back in school, right? Comparing year over year, the absorption rate is way lower at 27%, so much stronger seller's market than it was. The average list price is up a whopping 46%, but that's average. On the median, it's about the same. So, I'd probably look at the median more. Median list price is very high, but again, dreamers, we always see the list price much, much higher than the actual sales price. Days on market are down slightly compared to last year. So Camarillo is going to be a very, very, very aggressive city. The prices are hanging relatively steady, but the homes are selling like hotcakes. Okay. And the number of sold listings year over year, keep in mind, is only 58 compared to 86 this time last year. So it's mostly aggressive just because people aren't moving. Same story as everyone else. Just double check, see if anyone's saying anything. No one's got anything going on. If you guys have anything you want to pitch in on this, let me know. More than happy to talk about all your questions on the market, all that kind of fun stuff, or just things you're noticing about the cities. Then we've got my favorite, where I live, Newbury Park. We've got only 29 sold listings, which is super, super, super low, especially considering, like I said, we have 90. What was it, 90? It was 89 or whatever it was, VRBOs in town. So, there's more stuff to rent than there is to buy. Listing prices are down. They were at sold median listing price was $939. It's fallen to $890. It hasn't been that low. It really doesn't go that low, right? So we are starting to see the competition and the desire kind of fall on homes. I would expect to see prices go down pretty considerably over the holiday season. But right now, it's down month over month. Absorption rate is up to 2.17. Still, like I said before, very strong seller's market. Sold to list ratio is 99.7. So again, if you're haggling, may the odds be ever in your favor. Days on market are quite high in Newbury Park. We're at 31 and 33 respectively. So it's going to take you a month to get your house off the market. And our price volume is again on the way up as we come out of summer. Kind of like you can see here, it came down, right? So usually once we hit September-ish, it starts falling down and then it comes back up in the summertime. When we compare year over year, the biggest thing here is going to be the median sales price. It is down 1% in Newbury Park. The median days on market are doing much better. They're only 24 compared to 35, which is a 30% decrease. So homes are selling quicker, but prices aren't really going up. People are feeling pretty maxed out with the prices that we got with these rates that are up, right? And again, the big reason for that is when we look at sold listings, there was only 29 compared to 45 this time last year. We're seeing pretty consistently a 35% decrease in year over year sales, right? Thousand Oaks, on the other hand, median sales price is, where'd it go? Sold listings 70, right? But the median sales price is going to be 1.06 million, sorry, which is up from the 920,000 we saw this time last month. The absorption rate is hanging right around 1.8, so it's one of the more aggressive cities. Sold to list ratio, we are seeing only a 97% sold to list ratio. So whatever a home's listed for, you might be able to offer 2% less and get away with it. That'd be the average, right? Maybe you'll get lucky. Days on the MLS are up to 42. Yeah, 42 for the CDIM. So if you are putting your home on the market, expect 42 days before you're really under contract. And our sales volume, while pretty volatile, is pretty in range of where we expect it to be at around $76 million for sold. Compared to last year, that is a 15% decrease in the absorption rate, right? So it's a little bit more aggressive than it was last year for buyers. The median sales price is up 2%. Not really noticeable for the most part, for most people, going from 1.062 to 1.040. I mean, you're not going to list your house at a different price if we're less than like a 5% change, right? The median days on market is 26 compared to 28. So homes are selling slightly quicker than they were this time last year. And the number of sold listings is 70 compared to 79. So they've had less of a dip than most cities have. Checking for comments. Wonderful. Moore Park, more of the same. We've got, let's see. We've got 38 active listings. Prices took a big jump, but when we have Moore Park and there's only 38, was it 38 sold? How many sold? 25? 25 sold. You can have a big sale that really messes with that number. So it is high, but maybe there was just a really monstrous sale last month. Absorption rate is hanging around 1.66. So again, a much stronger seller's market than average. Sold to list ratio is at 101%. So prices are creeping up right now. Days on the MLS is around 35. So expect 35 days to get your home off the market. And price volume, it's doing weird things, but there's not a lot of houses in Moore Park, so it tends to kind of jump around more, right? Year-over-year absorption rate is much stronger seller's market than it was this time last year at a 31% change. The average list price is 2.35 million, which is why we see those numbers being so volatile, right? A good ranch or two really changes all the numbers. Meanwhile, the median list price is at $1 million, $1,014,000, which is a 7% increase from the 940 we saw this time last year. The median sales price, however, is only up 2%. So the median sales price is only $945,000 compared to 922 this time last year. And the average days on market, let's do the median days on market, is 22 compared to 26. So it is going to sell a little bit faster than it did this time last year. And last but certainly not least, we have Simi Valley. In Simi Valley, we are looking at 144 active listings. Prices are starting to go up a little bit. They kind of recover from that dip that we had. Let's see, we went from 823 to 820. So we still haven't reached our max back in May of 2023. Our absorption rate is down. So we only got 1.56 months of inventory. So very strong seller's market. Sold to list ratio, again, over 100%. We've got 101%, give or take. So again, if you're lowballing, it's not going to be a good area to try. Days on the MLS is hanging right around 30, so take a month to sell your home. When we look at the year over year, that is a 6% increase from the 773 we saw this time last year. The number of sold listings is currently hanging at 103 versus 106. So Simi Valley isn't really seeing a big impact from everything that's going on. Everywhere else is slowed down. Simi is just trucking away like nothing's happened. Alrighty, guys. So unless there are any questions, that's going to be the market report for this month. Let's get rid of this guy. So just in general, what we are seeing. Oh, up in my background. My background went away. Wonder when that happened. Let's get you over to the green screen anyways. So so in general, the market is going strong. If you're thinking about buying, buy now. You don't know if the market's going to change. It might go up another 6% between now and next year, right? So if you think about buying, you're able to buy, you're okay with the interest rates, buy now. Think about selling, same thing. We're dealing with a volatile market. We don't know if stuff's going to change. So if you are ready, now is the time. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comments down below. And I'll catch you guys every Thursday right here, 6 o'clock. Talk to you soon.